All right, welcome to the latest episode of the Organic Fitness Podcast with me, your host, Colman Power, and I have my latest guest here in front of me, my Alan. Say hello to the listeners.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me on this morning. It's a good way to start the morning.
I have Alan on here talking about his product, CBD oil. So I suppose, Alan, I let yourself do this elevator pitch, as I call it, to tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and your product, and we'll kind of get into a couple of questions then after that, all right?
Yeah, sure. I suppose I'm Alan Clabby, the owner, founder of CEELABB CBD, based in Dublin, Ireland. My background is definitely not in the health and wellness industry. I was working as an electrician for the most part of my life, and I worked as an electrician and then got let go. This is kind of the story of how I fell into the CBD industry. I worked as an electrician, got let go in 2010 when there was a big crash. And then I went back to college and I studied technical theatre, and that led me into the events industry. I ended up working on thousands of events across Ireland and across Europe as well. And it just was a totally different job. Basically, the show must go on. It's not a 9 to 5 job. If the show is starting and you're missing a cable, you need to go back to the warehouse to get it. And if you finish at 2 o'clock in the morning, you finish at 2 o'clock in the morning and you start again the next day, you're easily doing 60, 65, 70-hour weeks and very physically demanding job. So basically I was pushing a lot of boxes, a lot of flight cases up ramps and filling trucks. We set the gig up and we take it out that night. And I just started using my right leg to push the boxes up the ramps. And over time, it began to wear down, began to click, it began to walk. When I walked up the stairs, it would click. When I squat, it crunches. And it also cracks as well. So somebody said to me, why don't you try CBD oil? I use it for recovery. It helps me with recovery for these long shifts. I tried it. It helped me with pain. And then after that, I felt it helped me so much that I could help other people too. So that's how I ended up leaving my job as electrician in 2018 and starting a job, starting a career in the CBD industry.
Interesting. It's the fact that it's giving you relief and you found it from somebody else. And how then, I suppose I want to bring it back to the most basic. What is CBD oil for people that have never even really heard about it? And previous to this, I didn't know a lot about it until I started taking and using it from yourselves. So just to tell the listeners exactly what it is. And
CBD is a compound found in hemp and in cannabis. Now, hemp is a variety of cannabis. It's a variety of cannabis that grows with low levels of THC. And CBD is a non-psychoactive compound found in hemp. So there's over 150 different compounds. So THC is one, CBD, CBDA, and the list goes on. So there's 150 different compounds found in hemp and cannabis, and CBD is one, and it's the most prominent. That's why it gets the name CBD oil, because it's the most prominent found in the extract. There's all sorts of different cannabinoids found in the plant itself. So they're all, the CBD is a cannabinoid, THC is a cannabinoid, and so CBD is the most prominent found there. And then you have THC, which comes in at really low level, so 0.2% or less. So it's non-psychoactive oil that can be used for stress, anxiety, sleep, pain, and inflammation and stuff like that.
so it does come from the marijuana plant, but it doesn't cause it, we'll call it or have the effect of the high that you get when people are smoking the different types of bud, we'll say.
Exactly. So CBD is non-psychoactive. THC is psychoactive. It gets you high. It has mind-altering effects. And CBD is non-psychoactive. It doesn't have the high that you would get from THC. So that's why hemp is a legal variety of cannabis, because it grows naturally with less than some varieties of it grow with 1% and then they remove it. But yeah, the majorities of the variety of hemp grows with less than 0.2%, which makes it legal, and people can make products from it. Different hundreds of different types of products can be made from hemp. Not just CBD oil. There's lots of different, like paper, plastic, fuel, insulation for homes. So it's a very versatile plant. And what the business that I'm in is that we use it to make CBD oil.
And Am I correct in saying this? You correct me if I'm wrong. The fact is that you will not and don't fail the likes of drug tests if taking the likes of the CBD oil. That might be an issue with some individuals who are considering taking the product in the near future.
So I will say that it is very possible for you to fail a drug test, but there is steps that you can take to make sure that you don't fail it. So make sure that you're buying it from a company that will provide you with a lab report that will say that has it THC certified THC free.
Which your product does.
Yeah, 100%. Everything is lab tested. We have a batch number on the bottom of every single bottle. And if you turn that upside down, what we're going to introduce now very soon is a QR code. So you can see there's a batch number on the bottom of your bottle there. If you send that to me, I'll send you back the corresponding lab report, and you'll be able to see that it's certified THC free. You'll see how much CBD is in it. You'll see that it's pesticide free, that it's not been used with any harsh chemicals. It's also free of all residual solvents, so no heavy metals. And then we're also going to introduce a QR code on the side of it that you'll be able to just scan it. So that's going to come onto we have a new product coming now, and there'll be a QR code on the side, and you can scan it, and the lab report will pop up on your phone. So you don't have to even bother us by sending us an email or anything like that. So just pop straight up on a PDF.
Brilliant. And where are you currently getting the CBD from, or the extracting the likes of the oils from? What plants, and where are you getting it?
It's coming from Colorado in the United States. So Colorado would be known as one of the cannabis capitals of the United States. They have recreational and medical use in Colorado. So that's one of the main reasons we chose to partner up with an extraction company and a farm in Colorado, because what they're doing there is decades ahead of what we're doing here. And if you don't have a good product, customers will not get the benefits, and they won't return.
That's so right. Colorado. There'll be actually a couple of new listeners coming over through to the podcast. I'm sure they'll be familiar with Colorado. But I want to touch on more so the likes of maybe the benefits and why people are currently taking it. And I suppose when I first got this product for myself, and I'm currently under the trial of testing it and seeing how it is for, well, firstly I was considering taking it for aiding in sleep, but during the likes of the process of taking it, I actually injured my finger. Between me and you and the rest of the listeners, and I took my finger off. But it has aided in the likes of reducing down the swelling, which is one of the benefits that has been recommended in and on the information that you previously sent me. It also can aid in, I suppose, reduced anxiety, relaxing muscles, reducing the likes of pain from maybe arthritis. But what are the other some of the benefits that maybe haven't just mentioned there, so you can further expand on it in your own words?
I suppose like the stuff that the bread and butter customers that we see every single day would be stress, anxiety, sleep. They're like the number one. I suppose when you solve one, it's like a domino effect, and they all kind of fall into place. And then you have pain and inflammation. So anything that falls under the category of inflammation it's CBD is amazing for. So fibromyalgia, IBS, so inflammation of the bowel, really, really, really good for using. And we have another one, whereas endometriosis. Now that's just something that 1 in 10 women in Ireland actually suffer from it. It's a painful condition that it's a part of the womb, and yeah, it's very unknown, that CBD helper, but we have a lot of customers that are using it right now for that exact reason. And then there's lots of other reasons people use it. Somebody yesterday bought some from us for epilepsy. Parents for their children with ADHD. CBD is calming, will help you relax, will help you unwind. So with children that have ADHD, helps them pay attention more in school, relax, and with less outbursts and stuff like that.
That's actually very interesting with all those benefits. And the thing is that I'm quite into, we call it food as medicine, and have been reluctant to take, we call it anti-inflammatories, and more so medication for antibiotics. I mean to say, the fact for my injury of my hand, and the swelling has gone down extremely, and it comes from the likes of a plant. And I'm a firm believer in the likes of food being medicine, and polyphenols acting as an anti-inflammatory really do help. I also have a balanced diet that I do regimentally take. Will be anti-inflammatory foods such as ginger and turmeric, I would have high omega-3s in my diet from healthy fats. But touching on the likes of the oils, what oil is infused with it, Alan? You're touching on the likes of improved cognitive function with oils, which people struggling with ADHD. Something I struggle with ADHD, but I am quite energetic, and I suppose it might be one of the added benefits that I'm getting that I haven't noticed myself personally. But what oil is infused with the CBD? Can you tell me?
So we have two different types. So the one that you have there would have hemp seed oil in it, which is just cold pressed hemp seeds. Obviously that's healthy fats. And the reason why we have fats in there is because oil is oil based, and we're 60% water. And we know that oil and water aren't a really good mix. So when you increase the fats, the healthy fats in your diet, it increases the absorption, so it increases the bioavailability, which how much of it actually makes it into your system. We also have one with Mct oil, which is an extract from coconuts, so that's another healthy fat. And when you introduce the two of them into the body at the same time, it will help with the absorption. So it means that it will get into your system. More of it will make it into your system rather than just stick to the water in your system and not absorb into the bloodstream.
That's very interesting that you sent me the one, whether intuitive or not, for the likes of the hemp seed oil as opposed to the MCT. I'm a firm believer in, firstly, helping people with their diet and improving their diet, firstly, and hemp seeds in a plant-based diet, which I would have that approach towards, is very important. Why? Because they're high in omega-3 healthy fats. Omega-3 healthy fats are and reduce inflammation in the body. And that's something that I actually didn't previously know from having and consuming this. And that's, if I get a
hemp seeds on the porridge every day.
Yeah, you're a breadwinner because they're one of the complete proteins that contain all 9 essential amino acids. If you're on a plant-based diet, you're eating tofu, tempeh, and hemp seeds. I don't recommend Colman that much just because it's added process. But like the hemp seeds are a single ingredient. You can sprinkle them over porridge. You can put them over salads. You put them into stir fries. And now I know that I'm also getting omega-3 healthy fats and hemp oil in my CBD.
Yeah, definitely.
You were saying
I learn all this sort of stuff on your TikTok. And pick up all this information. I'd be going around stating facts about red peppers every. Now, did you know that red peppers have more vitamin C than an orange? And now I'm picking them up in the fridge and I'm just eating them, and I'm like, they actually are really sweet. Like, you were saying, like I seen you eating them in the van there one day, and I was like, hang on a second, and I was just like picked it up and I ate the red pepper, and it's like sweet, like it's like a fruit.
It is. It's a beauty. In fact, it's even better than a fruit. Why? Because there's less sugars. Okay, and sugars are carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are what people end up over consuming. People don't end to over consume the amount of vegetables they do eat in a day, and as a result of that, you have less sugar in your diet. And because oranges, most people, what's the first thing they think of when they say vitamin C? They think oranges, they think vitamin C tablets, the taste of orange. But like peppers are actually something that can be grown in Ireland, and they can be gotten easily or organically in the local shops that are soup value, Lidl's or Aldi's, there are other shops available. But the thing is, like, I've been doing that for so long and just didn't realize the fact that more people could start, I could say I'm a trendsetter, literally eating raw peppers as you would an apple or as you would an orange, just going on a walk or a picnic, take out a pepper. What's the difference between taking out an orange or taking out a pepper? In fact, you can't eat a whole lot of a pepper, but the fact is it's something that can be biodegradable. It's something that's a snack, and like, more people eating vegetables is a pure simple or great idea for anybody who's looking to improve their overall health, which adds vitamins and minerals and fiber to your diet on top of the likes of the CBD and the benefits that we're talking about here today. With other individuals such as athletes, and we'll call it sports individuals, I suppose I put myself in that category, training at a certain amount during the week, whether it be 4, 5, and sometimes 6 days a week. Are there any athletes or any other individuals who currently do take the CBD oil?
Yeah, there'd be big advocates in the kind of contact sports. You'd have I know there's a rugby player that actually has a brand of CBD, and I'm not 100% sure, but I know the rugby players are taking CBD because they're in contact sports, and they're obviously, their bodies are aching from training and performing as well. And then you have MMA as well, which I suppose the first person I kind of came across was Nate Diaz when he was fighting Conor McGregor. He was actually smoking a vape pen, or he was actually smoking a CBD joint, and at the weigh-ins, and it was and it looked like he was smoking like a joint, but it was obviously CBD because THC is banned. And now actually, Conor McGregor actually has just brought out a CBD spray, muscle spray. So yeah, there is lots of, and David Beckham as well has just got involved with um a CBD company that just got listed on the stock exchange in London. So yeah, um, there's lots of athletes. You could go on and on about athletes using it. There's lots of them using it out there. But they're a few of the high profile ones that I've just recognized in the last number of weeks.
For muscle recovery, reduced inflammation of the joints, because sometimes people don't understand what inflammation is. Inflammation can be acute or it can be excessive. So we'll just talk about the acute inflammation. Acute inflammation can be as from tear muscle fibers in a workout, whether it be body weight, whether it be standard push-ups, sit-ups, using dumbbells. You tear muscle fibers, those cells get inflamed. Anti-inflammatory foods and anti-inflammatory products such as CBD, they reduce inflammation in the body, which then speeds up the recovery. So that means that you are able to recover faster and get back into your next training session, whether it be the next day, whether it be in 2 days' time, or whenever the likes of your next activity is from or based off. Next thing is chronic inflammation. That can cause serious illness such as cancer. And there are studies to show that some people are taking CBD for recovering from cancer and other chronic illnesses. So that's on the excessive amount of information in the body. So I just wanted to touch on those 2 points and what
Yeah, well,
information actually is.
you mentioned cancer there. Now, just at the moment in Ireland, um, there is a medical cannabis access program, which is it's been slowly introduced and nobody has actually accessed it yet. But one of the conditions on the medical cannabis access program is um side effects associated with chemotherapy, so nausea and vomiting and um just I suppose weakness and stuff like that. So is CBD is on there for counteracting the side effects associated with chemotherapy. So if anybody listening now anywhere around the world and you're going through chemotherapy, I would suggest that you would pick up a bottle of CBD oil and use it to counteract the side effects associated with the treatments that you're going through.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm a firm believer of food as medicine, and if it can cause any relief or even from a healthier life, making you have a healthier lifestyle, trying to recover from any illness, I'd recommend anybody to try anything, and there's no harm in trying. And as a result of that, then if you gain benefit from it, you're onto a winner. So I suppose,
just before I finish there, while we're just talking about the medical cannabis access program, it will be getting rolled out very, very soon. Like, it will be accessible by people, and the 3 conditions that are on it is MS. So if you have multiple sclerosis, if you have it's a specific type of epilepsy, and also side effects associated with chemotherapy. So there is CBD products available through the HSE very, very soon that you can get through your GP. So yeah, if you do have any of those and you're listening, put pressure on your GP and get them to get it for you, because it is available.
Right. I suppose we'll finish up with the final question. How do you recommend to use it? How much do you use, and how often?
So there's different ways of consuming CBD. Obviously, the way you're taking it is orally. CBD can be put into anything. There's actually a food chain place in America that have put CBD into their burgers, fast food. It's just they put it into their burger. I don't know, it's just a novelty factor. But it can be put into anything. You can put it into drinks, you can put it into gummies, edibles, you can put it into oral drops where you take that under your tongue. And you can also vape as well. So vaping is very, 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 very good, very fast way of getting it into your system. The CBD enters your bloodstream immediately via the blood vessels in your lungs. Oral drops takes a bit of time to get into your system. It goes under your tongue and then it'll absorb into your bloodstream. With the effects, take a little bit longer to kick in, but they last longer than vaping. The vaping will wear off quicker, and you will use the vape more often. And then you have gummies as well, which is edibles. So you take them and you swallow them, and they'll absorb into your bloodstream that way. And they can take between 20 minutes up to 2 hours before it gets into your system, depending on if you've eaten or not, if your digestive system is up and running. it can take a bit of time before it gets into your system. If you take it after you've eaten, it will take between 20 minutes and an hour before you feel the effects. And then vaping, you'll get quick, fast results straight away.
And you recommend daily applications
Oh
or
yeah,
daily doses?
I suppose it depends. Like if you're taking CBD for sleep, I suppose you're going to take it 30 minutes before bed. If you're taking it, if you're anxious throughout the day, you're going to use it throughout the day as you feel the need. And obviously, if you're dealing with pain, you're going to use it on a daily basis. Generally, people with pain will use a lot more than somebody with stress and anxiety. Um, and yeah, you're
My
you got
finger.
your finger, yeah. So yeah, generally people, yeah, but it's something that I suppose people take vitamins every day. I suppose you can introduce CBD into your everyday routine, even if you're even if you're healthy. Like my dog takes it every day. Now, before I finish, before are we wrapping up soon enough?
Yeah. We're not too,
Right.
just not too far off. Yeah.
Yeah, but just I'll tell you about my dog there. So he's a German Shepherd. He has a slope in his back, and that means later on in life he will develop hip dysplasia. So, he will, it's a inflammation, it's arthritis, so he's taking CBD now every day to prolong the quality of his life. And the thing about pets is pets suffer with the same ailments as humans, so they're totally fine to take CBD. And the main reason why CBD is being hailed as the miracle plant that's able to do so much is the endocannabinoid system. So the endocannabinoid system was a medical discovery in 1992. We have this system in our body where we produce cannabinoids on a daily basis. So a cannabinoid is CBD, THC, CBDA, CBG, and the list goes on. There's 150 of them found in the cannabis and hemp plant. Now, our bodies produce cannabinoids on a daily basis from the day we're born until the day we die. And some people, because our foods lack cannabinoids, now there is some foods that are rich in it, like chia seeds and walnuts, and there's other things that will stimulate your endocannabinoid system, like exercise and singing and stuff like that. But a lot of people don't do that sort of stuff, so they actually have their body is lacking cannabinoids, and the system is just laying dormant, and it's not actually functioning at 100%. So what happens is when you consume CBD oil, the system wakes up and it says, right, hang on a second, we're starting to consume CBD now here, and then it starts to produce more cannabinoids, and then it starts to distribute the cannabinoids to the parts of the body that needs it most. So we have CB1 receptor and CB2 receptor. So you have the CB2 receptors in the gut. There's loads of receptors all over the gut and they're throughout the body, but the majority of them are in the gut. Then you have the CB1 receptor, which is in the brain, and the majority of them are made up in the brain, but they are found all over the body. And this system, it's a regulatory system, and it distributes the cannabinoids to the parts of the body that needs it most. So that's why it's been hailed as the miracle plant that's able to do so much, is because hemp is rich in cannabinoids and our body produces cannabinoids naturally every single day.
Brilliant. That's a great way to wrap it up. And I suppose I might as well take this opportunity to tell the listeners that Alan has kindly given me even a 10% discount code, and it can be linked up in the show notes here, as well as it is also linked in my bio on TikTok, Colman Power Organic Fitness, on Instagram in the Linktree link, Colman Power Organic Fitness. And I suppose, Alan, where's the best place for the people to reach you or find out more about your product if they're looking to buy it, which I would recommend people to try it if they're taking or looking for ailments and they can't get it from lifestyle approaches, to try something new?
Yeah, I suppose you'll find us on CEELABB.com, which is going to be linked in your bio, and you'll also find us on TikTok, you'll find us on Instagram, and you'll find us on Facebook as well. We did have an 80,000 following on TikTok, and our page got deleted, and now we're starting again. We're nearly at 1,000 followers again. So yeah, if anybody could head over to CEELABB on TikTok, and you'll find out lots of information there on a daily basis.
Brilliant. As well as Alan does a bit of cooking like myself, and he's quite plant-based, so you can check out his recipes. I've been checking them out. He can cook. All right.
I enjoyed the cook. All right.
Yeah, nothing like good grub. But I always finish off these shows by saying, stay tuned, stay classy, and keep it organic.